This is ION Hong Kong with Key.
And this is Harminder, and we'll be discussing the top news for the week involving Hong Kong and China. And welcome back to the second half of the show.
Yeah.
Our guest,
Oh,
Erica Yuen.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
To be here today.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in. So you are a member of People Power.
I'm not just a member.
Okay,
I'm a chairlady.
You're the chairwoman of People Power.
Yeah.
My apologies. And you know, I think it'd be a good idea to get you on the show because you know, with political reform and all this stuff, I think people are also curious about why a successful actress, a successful model,
not that successful.
I think a successful model, all right, would get into politics. Why join politics?
I get a lot of the same type of questions from time to time, but I think everyone is just equal as everyone. And I think at the end of the day, it's my personality and what happened 5 years ago with the Democratic Party, passing that bill, it was making me so angry. And I was just an average news reader at the time. I wasn't involved in politics at all, even though I have always been interested in making the world a better place, I have to say. It sounds really cliche, I know, but even though my business, I'm trying to make people healthier, happier, that kind of make the world a better place. Like, so
I wish for world peace.
Well, sometimes, most of the time, but when you are dealing with evil, you better, get rid of them.
Interesting.
But when the Democratic Party passed the bill, I felt I was being betrayed because we counted on them to, fight for democracy or whatever, but they failed. And I think it's my personality. If you fail, why don't I do it? Because I can't trust them anymore. So, and I didn't know what they're gonna do next.
Right, like the coming
would they just
reform.
become part of the pro-establishment?
I think
that really was the question, because they didn't even join the referendum.
Right.
And they were attacking the referendum.
Right.
And they are legitimizing how correct or right they were to pass the bill. So I thought, they're gonna become part of the the pro-Beijing.
So why People Power? Why not Civic Party or any of the other pan-democratic parties? Why People Power?
Because I think with my personality or character, I would fit into LSD. But there are two left.
Right.
Do they say it in English in that sense?
No, that makes sense. They're quite leftist.
Like social, Democrats.
Instead of the leftist communists, they're more leftist socialist.
Yeah, socialist, of course. But I'm very right. In terms of economics. So, and the Civic Party, honestly, they don't have economic policy, and I don't know what they stand for, except their image stand for middle class or upper class. I don't know them. I mean, they don't. How to say? I mean, what is their belief? Other than being pro-democracy.
You don't know what their clear stances are on issues.
So if I want to join a party, I want to be able to at least guess or bet what they're gonna do if anything happen. But the Civic Party give me a feeling that I don't know what they're gonna do next in terms of different topics or issues. So unless the obvious ones. So I felt they're not for me.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot of politics within that party.
Right.
It was quite disappointing. How they pick a candidates for elections and how they want to expel a certain candidates for election. That kind of.
There's been controversy about that.
Yeah.
Now you were frequent participant in the umbrella movement.
Yeah.
Did you feel, first of all, how are your feelings about the umbrella movement, and did you feel that it was a success or a failure at the end?
I felt very hopeful all the way, except for the leadership. I was...
Leadership as in the students or the professors?
both. I think there was a meeting with the professors and the pandem and the students. They almost hold a meeting every day to discuss strategy, but at the end, the result is they discuss strategy. They don't have
they don't implement it. They just discuss it.
Yeah, and the discussion ends nowhere. Yeah, so I understand that whoever wanted to take up lead the movement will be attacked because I don't know, most of the Hong Kongers are very, I don't know, political organization. I don't know. They have this feeling. They step back from like political parties, and they don't want to be led by political parties. But still, they had this huge platform, and they couldn't come into a consent of what to do next. And we were being so passive all the way. And but I was really hopeful from day one. I was counting on the Hong Kong people on running off to the streets, to the main roads, and they did. And they stayed day by day. And I think it's too early to judge whether it's a success, but as long as we kept our faith, all the Hong Kong people who, even if you have just participated once, or you stay a night, or you didn't even stay overnight, you just came by to see the movement, I think as long as they keep their faith, this movement is gonna go on. Okay. Yeah.
But as in but the Occupy part of it, do you think that was a success or a failure?
I think that was a success in a sense that it encouraged and empowered most of the Hong Kong people. It was unimaginable. Yeah, even though the professors has been, promoting the occupation for years, for 1.5 years, But then it was, we of course, people power can imagine that because we've done that. Right. But for an average Hong Kong citizen, or students, it was unimaginable. So that was the move that we tell the government that, you know what, we can do it anytime.
So the people have the power.
Yes.
Like your party name. The people have the power. So that's
exactly
the success it was in. Now, you ran for district council.
Yeah,
right?
That was last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, the by-election.
The by-election. Yeah. You came in second, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Not
pretty
third.
Good for a first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most likely, are you going to run again at this year's district council election? I mean, it's coming up again.
I'm still considering. It's very
now, if you were to run, or even next year, let's go.
Yeah.
Do you think you're actually electable because you're part of this party? Because it's considered radical, right? So how do you shed that label and say, well, we're not radical, we're vocal, but
we are progressive.
Okay.
And
do you think that you're radical?
No, especially after the umbrella movement. The most radical act we have done all this year was to occupy road.
Right.
And that was done by,
300,000
of Hong Kong citizens.
Right.
So I thought at least those who participated wouldn't think we're radical. But of course, some of the supporters of the Democratic Party, they're still very conservative. And I would say the older ones, for example, parents with kids and from a middle class background, they are less likely to support us. But
do you have a strategy then to engage them?
We have been trying every day, and we try to explain our policy and explain why we did the civil disobedience from the very beginning. But I think especially after the umbrella movement, people understand now because it's really the governments that was so ridiculous that we have to act out this way.
But last year in the by-election, you actually got quite a lot of votes from the Horizon. It's a middle class estate.
It wasn't a big margin of difference. It's pretty good for.
It was 2 to 1 to 1. The pro-establishment to People Power to Democratic Party, and I think people
and you beat out that moderate party.
Yeah.
So that was
but
an
they
achievement
have
in itself.
Original scene in that district because the ex district councillor left the party
Right.
and went into the government,
Right.
and now become the spokesman of the White House, as he referred to.
Yeah.
So the residents there hated him a lot.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
So they punished the Democratic Party for
that too. And
But then they voted pro-establishment.
well,
that
half
kind
of
of
them. Well, there are some police facilities in residents in that district.
I see.
And as I said, lots of middle class parents are very conservative, and they,
Did you find it very difficult to convince these middle class parents when we were doing the by-election?
Yes, but I have to. I did it day by day, and whoever I see, I try to explain why we did this, and. As long as you have patience and you just talk to them and let them understand bit by bit, they actually get it. But at the end of the day, whether they give the votes to you, that's another issue. But at least they understand. Yeah. So that was not just an election; it's really an education process. Yeah. To educate.
Yeah, because even if you lose an election, the way you have a platform to educate a lot of people.
Yeah. Because when you just go down to the restaurant, no one would talk to you. But when you are running, then everybody,
if you just walk in and start talking, they think you're crazy,
you more.
Right?
Yeah. They try to, they try harder to listen. Yeah.
So, because right now, if I say people power, the first thing that comes to their mind is...
It's still radical.
Is that happening in Lechko? That's the first thing that comes to their mind.
Is it that bad?
Well, if I talk to people that I know, what's the first thing that comes into their mind is the stuff being thrown at Lechko.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The thing is that now you're the chairwoman of people power. I'm thinking, is that a strategy to soften people power?
I think image-wise it is.
Yeah.
If you ask me, if one day I become the Lechko member, will I throw things? It will be very difficult for me.
Throw this essence to these people. Say, you take care of your skin.
No, that would be too nice.
Hey, free advertising.
Oh no. That's a great idea.
One of your companies can say, this product was thrown at the chief executive.
It's like good
you
for you.
Buy
You
this.
wanna, or you wanna use it. It's for you.
Would you think that you would do that? I mean, be radical, or throwing things.
I think some soft toys would be all right.
Okay.
Because the main purpose is not to throw at them; it's to humiliate them.
And make a point. But I think the throwing of things now, because when I talk to the public and we talk about, they now think it's childish. At first, it was shocking. But now it's like, this is expected. We expect them to. But when you guys humiliate them through your words, and then that meme goes viral. On the internet, that's when people notice. Especially if you can subtitle it in English as well. Then the more English-speaking Hong Kong community, then they will have a different view of people power. Because right now, they don't like the kowtowing by the moderates, but they don't like the radicals as well. So they're stuck in the middle right now.
Yeah.
And your name is people power. It sounds like so radical, even though it just means the power to the people. It's so normal, right? So I'm just thinking that's why, that you're elected as their chairman. Ray Chen is actually gay legislator, and it's going to.
Well, that wasn't a strategy.
It wasn't a strategy. It wasn't like, you know what? I'll just come out and I'll be gay. No, I'm just saying that it's. I'm just wondering if that's the softening of the stances. Just so look, we accept wide range of people, not the traditional. What do you expect from the other?
I think our stand hasn't changed all these years. It's just the image. But for your information, some people think we're not radical enough.
That's true.
There's always going to be that group
that
says you're not radical enough.
As I said to people, if ISIS come to Hong Kong, then some people will follow them anyway, because some people are always going for that
I
direction.
think that group is actually even more fringe than the radical group, because these are... and I'll call them out on the show. They're keyboard warriors. All they do is sit on their ass, and just type crap out on the forums and Facebook.
Are you talking about my group keyboard from now?
No. You guys actually do something, right? I'm talking about these people that are holier than thou, that come out and say, "How dare you not do this?" Or
I know
you're not localist enough, or you're a closet commie, and all this stuff, right?
That's true.
Just because you're not supposedly more radical. Well, then why don't you come out and say the truth and say, I don't want China involved whatsoever in our country, in our country, in our city,
in our region,
in our city. I want independence. You want? That's what they want at the end of the day. That's what they really want. But they lie and just say, "Oh no, we want our high degree of autonomy back." Well, that's what you guys are doing. You're saying we want a high degree of autonomy. They're saying more than that. What does that mean? That's independence. But they're too cowardly to come out and say that. I'll call you out. Like, there are certain groups online that accuse us of smearing certain people or groups and stuff like that.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really care about what they think.
Have you been confronted by the really radical?
Yeah, of course,
and
every day.
What kind of comments do you get?
Well, they say that they put us into the group of the moderate Democrats, and so they just want to stand out. At the end of the day, it's all election strategy. They just want to stand out as the most radical one.
Yeah, but who's really? Do they stand to be elected?
I think
they may get 1% in. But
I think 3% max.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're just trying to smear us and to get our votes.
Or they think that you are not radical enough to get votes. To say that, we're not that radical, but, we are vocal. And they think that maybe you're just saying that to get the votes and try to get an election.
No, they're just trying to get their own votes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have our own issues with one or two groups online.
Really?
When we had Richard Scottford on our show and talked about another group, and we were accused of smearing them when we defended ourselves, they deleted our comments. So you can have your free speech so long as you just agree with them. Okay, so I did have one more question for you. It was, you're considered a celebrity. Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
Why aren't more celebrities getting involved? Do you think it's to protect their jobs or to protect opportunities on the mainland? Or
well, there are very many reasons for that. But I think mainly they don't know politics enough.
They don't pay attention?
Yeah, they don't pay attention. When I work at TVB, the management told me not to do comments on politics and religions deliberately.
CCTV.
CCTV, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and a lot of, I have to say, most of the staff or actors at TVB, they are, especially the guys, they are not educated enough to learn, and they are
too busy doing their hair.
Yeah, too busy doing this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they didn't really care about anything else outside of the TVB city. I
it's
shouldn't
literally
say
like its own bubble.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
Yeah, there was an actor. We were talking about like Bopomofo as in learning Putonghua.
Right.
And then he was like, what Bopomo? I was like, oh my God, are you serious? Yeah, so it happens a lot with the actors and actresses inside. But I can't say, lots of outside of TVB actors, they do read a lot, but they chose not to get involved too much to get into trouble.
Have you ever been denied work because of your political stances?
Not. I think definitely. Yeah. But not in that sense. It's just that if I appear on an whatever occasion or events, then TVB camera will go like this, and when I'm middle, they do that all the time. So some of the, when I was still doing modeling, and some shopping mall events will not invite me because they don't want to anger the TVB or other pro-established newspaper or magazine.
So it does exist that you can be blacklisted.
Yeah, well, you can interview Denise Ho and
that's the only other that's the only other celebrity and Anthony Wong, right? There's 3 that are very vocal about their political stances.
Well, there were more during the umbrella movement, but
but you saw more passive statements than actual support or no support.
Well, but we can't. I think people have expectations on them, but you can't count on them. Yeah.
You have a question?
What about your business? You have this very successful business.
Yeah,
online.
I won't say it.
So what it is about? And
I'm doing retail business. I sell skincare and healthy food.
Plug it. What's the brand?
I'm a multi-brand store, so I carry around 30-40 brands of different things.
And where's the store?
I have 5 stores in New Territories.
What's the name?
And Kowloon. Miming Marts. It's named under me.
Miming Marts.
Yeah, because my middle name is Miming.
Yeah.
So it's like MMM, Miming Marts.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Triple M.
Yeah. So we also saw this advertisement of you and talking about the skincare. So what is the tips?
I saw it while I was standing for the lift. I was like, hey, that's Erica.
That was.
Do you have any tips for our audience about the skincare?
Oh, it's quite easy. It's a 3-step. First, you have to do sun protection.
From the sun?
UV rays protection.
What about vitamin D? It's free.
You know what? Some of our sunscreen has added vitamin D.
Oh, okay.
So you don't, you sacrifice the, it's vitamin D from the sun.
Right.
So first step is to protect your skin from sun protection because it's the only reason your skin age. And the second is cleansing because you do secrete some oils and dirt from outside. So cleansing. And then you can add some serums to strengthen your skin and change your skin or repair the damaged cells.
Okay.
Yeah, but even if you do the first 2 steps, your skin won't be too bad.
You do clinics sometimes too, right? Where people can come and see you.
I'm a spokesperson of big clinic.
I've seen the videos.
But that wasn't part of my business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I could have sworn I saw you doing that.
Yeah, those are not necessary.
Okay.
If you do your sun protection and cleansing, that will solve around 70% of your skin problem.
Cool.
So you have a website too? What is the address of the...
mimingmarts.com.
Okay.
Mimingmarts.com.
And we'll see all the address of the store over there.
And all the products information.
Okay. Interesting.
I just wanted to take one step back. Speaking to other actresses and actors and models and people in the entertainment or industry, inside, are they more supportive of the democracy movement or the establishment?
I think half of them don't care as long
the
as
ones
they're
that
employed.
do care, the ones that do care.
And then those who, HKTV has been trying to hire TVB staff and the industry staff since like 4 years ago.
Right.
I think those who left TVB actually wanted to make a change in the industry, and those will be more democratic. Those who rally for the HKTV incidents, those are democratic for sure. And I think that tells their characters too. One day you just didn't want to stay with the pro-establishment or the incumbent anymore, and you want to start something new and make a change. Yeah, but
so
those
TVB's
who stay at TVB are...
dramas, you believe that they're being self-censored?
Yeah, of course.
Are they being blatantly censored, do you think? Or are they the writers just censoring themselves?
Yeah, the writers censoring themselves.
They don't want to anger the management.
And the boss want to please the higher management.
So that's why the TVB just got a major mainland investor just now.
Oh, yeah.
To invest. Well, their excuse is that they're going to take TVB content into the mainland.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Their content, the rubbish take to mainland, sure.
It's unfortunately, TVB's quality has dropped. Actually, an older program, The Greed of Man, has been re-airing, and that's become very popular.
What a shame.
That their older stuff is re-airing. And so what do you think is now the way forward for the entertainment industry to evolve? Because right now ATV has lost its license.
Yeah.
There are only 2 major players now.
Yeah, and
TVB and HKTV.
And now, cable and PCCW are coming in, but now,
PCCW is coming online, but after a year, 2017, and Fantastic TV cables, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be 3 in 2017.
Yeah. I think TVB can survive is because of the advertising income.
Oh, plus they got a 12-year extension on their license.
That too.
Yeah.
But the everyday operation, the brands are still willing to pay a lot for 30 seconds in the golden time slot. And that is the problem for both advertisers and the TV station. And even though the ratings has dropped so much in the recent years, the rate card for the advertisers stays the same or even higher than before.
Well, they're a monopoly.
Yeah.
So they can pretty much charge whatever they like.
I think Hong Kong has to catch up on the online advertising business. YouTube, of course, is one of the platforms, but YouTube splits very little to the content provider. And seriously, a Cantonese content cannot survive on YouTube alone by having that, pre-roll 30 seconds advertising income, like 10% of the whole income shared by YouTube. If they get, the whole income, maybe they could, but YouTube won't share the whole thing to you.
No.
And the advertising rates for online, it's relatively low in Hong Kong when compared to the regions, to Singapore. I think that really is the major problem. Of course, the licensing and the liberalization of the TV is one thing, but advertisers will have to change their behavior and invest less in TVB, and they have to do it collectively.
But they can only go right now to HKTV. That's their only other choice.
Yeah, but the ratings is
nobody
nowhere
watches
compared.
ATV. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but the HKTV ratings is really disappointing. I think their way of promoting their program, it's like so old school. They do billboards. That's kind of advertisement for an online program. Give me a break.
Right.
I mean, they didn't hire the correct talent for. Well, but perhaps they were hoping for a license and air
or
on
correct advertising company.
Yeah, but now they became an online content provider, and they didn't know how to operate it, how to promote it, and how to do it. So it was a failure. I have to say it was.
Maybe they should draw some experience from Netflix.
Yeah, they
WWE
can do a monthly
Network. I mean, there's so many
subscription.
examples in the States now.
Well, there are two directions. You either go for advertising income or subscription income. You can't do both. And they went for the advertising.
Well, you can in a way. You just have to be smart about it. You just can't.
No, if I pay, and
I understand.
Yeah,
but if I don't want to see that.
But if you have a little box in the corner, it needs to be non-intrusive if it's subscriber, right?
Yeah.
Because I'll make a complaint. South China Morning Post makes you pay for their
of course
online
I'm
paper.
paying.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
right?
But they do have advertising.
They have
that's
exactly.
True.
I'm paying and a pop-up comes out.
Right.
How freaking annoying! And
But
their bottom banner is like this big.
I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you close it and it pops up again.
Exactly. It's really bad with the touch. So that's intrusive subscriber advertising. It needs to be non-intrusive.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep, I agree.
That's what needs to happen.
And I hope one day most of the web content provider can survive on its own. Then that would be the day that
But isn't traditional TV really dying? I mean, why are these companies looking for a TV license when more people are actually going on their phones and stuff?
Well, because I'm sure if the contents are good, and say HKTV, they have very good content, they can beat TVB ratings in a very short time.
But the shows are critically better.
Yeah. But the platform, the online, the show was good, but the strategy was wrong. They didn't make it. The timing was wrong. They should have done it during the rally.
Okay.
But they didn't make up their mind. They were still hoping for a license from a JR or whatever, a plan B.
Right.
They should have done it right there.
Should have bought ATV.
Well, they couldn't. Yeah. So, whatever Ricky Wong tried to touch, it just...
No, it's...
it's just...
With ATV, it's that
and the license
the
wasn't
owner, Wong
guaranteed.
Ching,
yeah,
he
wouldn't
really
sell to...
dropped the ball when it comes to ATV. He tried to run the company when you're not allowed to under the rules.
Yeah.
And since he couldn't do that, he just kind of just ran the station into the ground. And that's very unfortunate because TVB really has no competition now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that can be done about that. Anyways, I'll give you a few final political questions. Okay, because reform package.
Yeah.
Veto, right?
Yeah, of course.
But if there's a major concession, should it at least be considered? Let's say a nomination threshold lowering to 30%.
Well, for people power position, we ask for a civil
Understood.
nomination.
But that is really if you're going from A, B, C, D, civil nomination is D. You're going from A to D.
Well, we're going to veto anyway, but we are sure some moderates will consider. So the LegCo doesn't need our 2 votes.
Today, yeah.
They don't need our 2 votes to get past the bill. But our stand is to veto unless there is civil, because we have been promoting it for 2 years.
Understood.
But I understand personally if the threshold is low enough and without what is it called? Without
selection
screening.
The screening.
Then personally I think I can accept that.
Okay, so because they're calling Pandemocrats completely unreasonable, but it's really the package that's completely unreasonable,
exactly.
right? Because I've talked to a few of the Pandemocrat legislators. Most will say, give us a major concession like a lowering of the nomination threshold, and we'll accept it.
Even I think if the screening part is out, even the threshold was quite high, a few of them can accept it.
Well, yeah,
it was
there's another one.
screening that was unacceptable.
Even the nomination committee is not broadly represented.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yep.
It's missing so many groups, and certain groups have
has too much
way
power,
too much power.
Votes,
Right.
60 for agriculture and fisheries.
Yeah, and I don't even know a farmer.
Well, thank you so much, Erica Yuen, for coming on the show. You can also find Erica on her Facebook page. Just search Erica Yuen. Or you can go to facebook.com/Erica Yuen. And that's the end of the show. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.